This is my 2010 Camaro SS.
And it's been through a ton of transformations in the past 7 years. From when I first got the car, to when I customized it, to even a fender bender. So how to go from this to a one-of-one custom masterpiece. It all started with a 1993 Chevrolet Silverado step side. This truck was passed down from my grandma to my mom and became my true first vehicle. But this wasn't a low miles garage kept all factory OBS.
Mind you, this was back in 2015, so it was already 20 years old, and the AC didn't work, the paint was cracking and peeling, and it didn't run at all, like literally. But for a 16-year-old, it was good for me.
This kind of became one of the first projects me and my dad worked on together. And watching him, then him teaching me, it just made me fall in love with working on cars even more, because I got to spend time with my dad working on vehicles. Him having the experience and the craftsmanship, you can't learn it from YouTube.
First we started with the engine. So we took out the old 4.3-liter V6, and then when we put in LS1, 5.3 with a stage 2 Texas speed cam, 2200 stall converter, a 4L60E transmission, and man, did it run. And after some paint and cosmetics, this is how it turned out.
We painted it blade silver with torch red interior. We took out that old dirty factory interior. We installed red Corvette bucket seats, a GT racing wheel. The door panels were red, the carpet was red. We even added wood in the truck bed. And man, did she sound as good as she looked. We then sold it for $16,500 and used that money to buy a 1964 Ford Mustang. 347 stroker motor, 5-speed with the black and orange two-tone. This car is my senior year car. I drove to school, from football practice, Whataburger even. It was really like my daily driver. But the gearings on it were too low to where you can only drive it in town, and the RPMs would be like 3.5 on the highway, so you would have to drive under 60 miles per hour. It was a true light-to-light car, and man, was it still fun to drive. But I was off to college, and college was 2.5 hours away, and driving 60 miles an hour in a 64 Mustang probably wasn't practical. So we sold it, and that's when we got my Camaro 2SS.
Horsepower with 29 miles per gallon on the highway. It's power and efficiency in perfect harmony. Chevy Camaro, may the best car win.
2010 was a big year for Chevy fans. After nearly a decade off the streets, the Camaro came back. For years, muscle car lovers have been begging Chevrolet to bring back that classic American look, something that felt raw, modern, and fast. And then boom, the 2010 Camaro hit the scene. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Transformers had just made its mark, and suddenly the Camaro wasn't just a car, it was Bumblebee.
50 years from now, when you're looking back at your life, don't you want to be able to say you had the guts to get in the car?
Every kid wanted one, every car guy wanted to drive one. Chevy didn't just revive a nameplate, they created a pop culture icon. But here's the thing, 2010 was special. It was the first year of the 5th generation. But there was no ZL1 package, no 1LE, just pure, unfiltered SS power. And almost 20 years after the release and 7 years since I've had the car, this is my 2010 Camaro 2SS.
All right, guys, so here it is, my 2010 Camaro 2SS. So we're gonna do a little walkthrough around it. We're gonna first do the inside, talk about the engine, and then save the body for last. But on the inside, it's still work in progress. But for the inside, what we did was we wrapped the door inserts here, this little plaid pattern. Looks really good, did that all the way around. And as for the seats, we're gonna do these in red, all red, torch red. We started doing the middle console, or finished the middle console with the torch red. We also have that Psychobilly shifter, you know, how to make it just like the ad on the back of the Camaro. As you can see too, that ZL1 steering wheel, we did a video on that, and you know, people got mixed opinions about it, you know, but honestly for me, I really like it. Looks really good with the Camaro 2010. They didn't really come out with a ZL1 2010, so kind of just made it my own. We also sewed this too as well. So a little bit more about these pieces here. So I sewed the shift boot. We sewed that, wrapped this. So again, the interior on the side, on the driver's side, it's a 6-speed manual, you know.
I didn't show it right here, but we also stitched suede sun visors as well to match the shift boot and the parking brake. Still work in progress. We're gonna mess with the dash and do some more stuff to the inside.
All right, so again, this is a 2010 Camaro 2SS, came with an LS3. This is 6-speed manual, so it came with the TR 6060. And what we done so far to it was add a stage 2 Brian Tooley Racing cam. Added the cam kit in there, redid that, ported the heads, and then we added Speed Engineering headers. Also have the Texas Speed push rods and rockers. Still work in progress, like the interior. We're gonna take the cold air intake, the stock one, replace it for Rotofab. I'm gonna add supercharge to it. So yeah, it's gonna be pushing that ZL1. Pretty much everything on this car is gonna be ZL1. It's gonna be kind of my version of a 2010 Camaro ZL1. But as you can see here, the valve covers are painted gold. We're gonna probably repaint those like the car once we kind of go back into it. But yeah, so far looking good, pretty powerful. So again, the Speed Engineering headers are 1/7/8 if you're curious about what size they are. But yeah, in all, this motor runs, man, and it's pretty fun.
Now, before this Camaro was red, it was bone stock. Inferno orange metallic with silver gray rally stripes, one of Chevy's boldest colors that year. Under the hood sat a 6.2 liter LS3 V8, the same engine they dropped in the C6 Corvette, making 426 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque.
And then right here too, for the engine, this is the engine cover I'm working on. Getting rid of that V8 that was here, getting rid of the holes, and it's coming out very smooth. We're gonna repaint it, primer it.
No supercharger option yet. The ZL1 didn't even exist until 2012. Back then, the 2SS was a top dog. The car came from the factory with Brembo brakes, 20-inch wheels, and one of the coolest interiors in its class. That deep two-tone cockpit with ambient lighting across the dash. Chevy also added halo lights, and it looked straight out of a concept car. Even the exhaust note had this perfect old-school rumble. It was the kind of car you park, walk away from, and still turn around to look at. That's how it all started. Stage 1, clean, stock, proud, and mean. But if you know me, that didn't last long. After keeping it in stock for a while, I hit that I need to change something phase. Stage 2 was all about looks, not performance, just pure teenage vision. We painted the wheels black, and to match, I hit the brake calipers with orange paint so they popped through. I took off the factory gray stripes and went full blackout. Black hood, black mirrors, and even a vinyl wrapped roof to tie it all together. Added a front splitter and some hash mark stripes on the fenders because honestly, every cool Camaro on Instagram had them.
Looking back I kind of wish I kept it stock and dumped that money into the engine instead. But hey, I was 17, had a job, and no clue what else to spend my money on. So I went all in on looks.
And again, it was already fast for a teenager, so looks was kind of the goal because I was just seeing a lot of Camaros that looked similar to mine. And just loving classics from back then, I knew I had to make this one of a kind just like them. After a while, I had a different vision for it. But sometimes life throws you curveballs, and sometimes it takes a little longer for that vision to come true.
Then came what I like to call the patina era.
And I don't mean cool barn find patina. I mean this car's been through some stuff patina. And I also ordered some engine parts, but we didn't use those yet. At the time, I was living with my parents and my dad had his shop. I was working up in Austin, and then I moved to Austin, and that's kind of when this stage kind of went sour and just stayed there for a good minute, almost 3 years. It looked like a Camaro straight out of a post-apocalyptic movie.
But somehow, still ran like a champ.
Then came the hit. A drunk driver backed right into my front bumper. Well, they didn't back into it. They rammed right into it in a hotel parking lot. Left a big hole, snapped the grill mounts, and honestly, tried to talk to her, but hit and ran. Literally just drove off, called the cops. Can't even press charges because my car's not painted, they said. And after that, we knew we had transformed the Camaro, so we started prepping it.
And if you look at it right now, look at that. Ain't even there anymore.
It was time to bring this Camaro back, not just fix it, but rebuild it. This was the start of what I call the transformation stage. We stripped the car down, sanded the entire body, and started prepping it for a full refresh. I learned a lot since the cosmetic mod phase. This time I wanted to do it the right way. You start to realize how much time, effort, and patience goes into bringing a car back. It's not just about making it look good, it's about putting your story into it. This Camaro's been with me through different chapters of my life, and this stage was all about giving it a new one. And that brings us to now. The Camaro is not just another project anymore, it's a reflection of everything I've learned at Psychobilly Speed Shop. From stock Inferno Orange to where it sits today, every version tells a part of my story. It's not perfect, but it's mine. Every scratch, every part replaced, every late night working in the shop with my dad, that's what built this car. And honestly, that's what it's all about, taking something that's worn out, forgotten, or beat down and turning into something that stands out again. Really couldn't have done this without my dad, and honestly, the Camaro is not just back, it's better than it's ever been. And this is just the beginning.
I know people in the Camaro community, I just know people in general, gonna have mixed emotions about me putting the ZL1 badge on this 2010 SS, but you know, if it's your car, you can do whatever you want to it. It's all up to you. I think it looks good, and again, 2010 never had a ZL1 Camaro, so that's our shop right there. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all enjoyed the Camaro. Again, not the finished journey, but if you just want to start just working on cars in general, do it. It's honestly just awesome to do, awesome to see these transformations.
Again, hope y'all enjoyed the video. This ain't the final journey, but stay tuned for more content like this and follow Psychobilly Speed Shop.